Hi, today I'm joined by Matt Picheny, owner and founder and CEO of Picheny.com. We will dive into your growth story, scaling strategies, key insights, and what's ahead of 2026. Your home at its best, your backstage guide to passive investing. You will learn to scale your real estate portfolio through one-to-one coaching from Picheny.com. And if you are investor, they have private investment offering exclusively to members of Picheny Investors Club. We will start with your background and the industry trends you are seeing. Then we will discuss your current challenges and where you want to be in next 6 to 12 months. Finally, we'll wrap up by exploring any next steps if it makes sense. The whole conversation will take 30 to 40 minutes. Does that sound good for you?
Sure, that sounds great.
Great. Can you share a bit about your role and how it fits bigger picture at Picheny?
Sure, yeah. So I have an investment company called Picheny. We specialize in investing in multifamily real estate, and we use a methodology called syndication. So what we do is we'll work together with investors from all across the country. We will pool our capital and resources together to go after deals that we wouldn't be able to do on our own. So for example, I might be an investor who invests in single family properties or duplexes, but to buy something like 100-unit apartment complex might seem something that's out of reach for me alone because I might not have the capital or the resources or the track record to execute that. But through a syndication model, I can pool together all of those resources and go ahead and obtain those assets. So, when I first started out, I didn't have experience beyond just, single family or duplexes. But I started investing passively as a passive investor in other people's deals. And then eventually got to the point where now I put deals together and we will buy, 100, 200, 300 apartment units in an apartment complex throughout the country. We primarily focus in the Sun Belt. I have assets in Kansas and Missouri and Texas and Georgia, but we do look at other areas as well. And we have a project that we're working on right now in Canada. So it really just depends on the opportunity, but we tend to like the Sun Belt of the United States.
Great. And what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day, the thing I really love about my job is that there really isn't a typical day. Each day is different and can present different new challenges. For as an example, today I could walk you through my day today. I spent the day in the morning working on some projects. I did a post on my social media. I'm working on some new videos. Was working with my editor, talking about that. I saw a first draft and had some comments to give back. Right now, I'm doing a podcast with you. After the podcast, I have a meeting. I coach people on real estate investing and syndications, and so that's in an hour from now. I have a weekly group meeting that we do. So we have that. And then I have some calls with some students. I have a call with an investor. And then that's going to pretty much round out my day. So my day is really juggling between working with investors, working with my students, talking with my property management team on the different assets that we have, making sure that they're all running smoothly, and then different marketing efforts such as videos or social media posts.
And what major shifts are you seeing in your industry right now?
I'm not seeing any what I would consider major shifts, but I am seeing a change and momentum moving as we're now in the early part, right? We're in January of 2026. I actually put some predictions out on YouTube in December, and I do that every December for the past few years, where I predict what I think is going to happen. And, I think a lot of people have been saying going into 2024 and going into 2025 that there was going to be this major opportunity in the marketplace with a lot of distressed owners selling, that it was going to be fire sales galore. And I frankly said that I didn't see it because I didn't. pat myself on the back a little bit. I think I've been right. Now, I'm not saying that there haven't been distressed sellers who've had to sell at discounts, because there has been some of those, and I actually invested in a few of those, but they haven't been widespread. They really went to people who were well connected and had connections with either with those ownership groups or with lenders if the lenders were taking the properties back. So as we move into 2026, I still think there is some distress in the market, but I think we've hit the bottom. And when we look at the data that we're getting, we really seem to hit the low point in terms of loan originations and transaction volume in 2024. It really kind of bottomed out around Q2 or so. It was pretty kind of like stagnant, basically through all of 2024 and into the beginning of 2025. But towards the end of 2025, in the second half of the year, we started to see transaction volume and loan originations pick back up. And so that signals to me that we are having sellers and buyers' expectations now aligning, and we're starting to see more momentum. With that momentum, that's demand. And as demand increases, that should help improve the real estate market, and we should start to see valuations going up. Now, I don't think it's going to be a spike straight up. I don't think we're going to have some meteoric rise in 2026. I think we will have a slow and steady rise in 2026, but I think it will be edging upwards. I think we've hit the bottom of a market cycle. I think we're now turning the corner and starting to head back up. I think now is a great time to be investing in real estate, especially when you have a longer term horizon, in your focus.
How has this trend impacted your business or your growth strategy?
I don't think that this is affecting us necessarily. We've been buying all along. We bought properties in 2022, 2023, 2024. We are continuing to buy, even though the market may be, when it was sort of on its way down, and we thought it was probably on the way down. But when we were able to find good opportunities where we could buy at a good price point, where we could lock in long-term debt and the fundamentals were strong, we would buy those. And I don't think there's anything with buying on the way down or buying on the way up, because you never know when you're going to hit the bottom. You never know when you're going to hit the top, right? It's a cycle. It goes up and it goes down. But as long as my philosophy is buy cash flowing properties with that long-term outlook, with some buffer in your underwriting, be conservative. And that should allow you, if you do it well, to ride out when there's those peaks and valleys
Yeah,
in the market, so that you don't have to sell when the market is down and you can sell when the market is high.
when the market is high. And what is it working well for you right now? And what has been frustrating at current market situation?
I didn't catch the first question, but the second one was what's been frustrating. And I don't know if there's anything been necessarily frustrating to me. I would say this. A few years ago, real estate was very popular as we were like towards the top of the market. And a lot of investors wanted to get involved. I mean, I had investors, I don't want to say beating down my door, but maybe figuratively, right? I had investors who were always reaching out. Hey, do you have anything to invest in? And I was, hey, when I have something, I'll let you know. And I do let people know in my investors club when I have opportunities. I'm always looking for them. But I wanted to make sure I wasn't doing, any deal just to do a deal. I wanted to make sure that I felt strongly about it. I continue to take that philosophy moving forward. But right now, real estate is not, such a hot commodity, right? It's not as I don't have investors pounding, beating down my door like I had in the past, because it's just not as I don't know, popular or something right now at the
Mhm.
moment. But that's why this is a good time to get in, right? It's
Yeah.
not good to get in when the market is super high. I mean, not that it's bad if you're buying good fundamental, a property with good fundamentals. But right now, I think provides an excellent opportunity. But it's not, people are shying away from it a little bit. So I guess if there was any sort of frustration, which it's not really a frustration, but just kind of like, yeah, I wish people would realize that right now is a good time to get involved.
Okay. I was asking, my next question was, what is it working well in your business right now?
What's working well? I think that for 2026, What's going to separate people apart from one another in terms of the operators is people who are operating with efficiency, right? People who are doing things like trying to be innovative too, like trying to take advantage of green initiatives, which can drastically, it's good for the environment, but it can also drastically reduce costs for ownership and also for tenants. I think that people taking advantage of other technology type things like AI, wherever you can incorporate those types of things into your business is phenomenal. I mean, we've had AI chatbots for a while now where, we have leads coming in, potential new residents for our properties. You need to respond to them quickly. And so we use different AI to be able to respond to people in real time, even if it's 2 a.m. and they're looking for an apartment. We want to be able to get back to them right away, give them the basic information they need, and set them up with a tour of the property so they can come. Occupancy is really important in real estate, especially in multifamily where I focus. We want to try to keep the properties as full as possible. Speed to lead, as they call it, being able to respond to people quickly and accurately is really important. So, if we can use technology to do that, and technology on the back end too, to help us make sure that we're keeping our costs down, that we're running properties efficiently. That does not mean cutting down on services. We want to make sure that we spend money where we need to keep properties running nicely and smoothly, but making sure that we're doing that in an efficient manner is really important.
What is one major challenge or inefficiency in traditional property development business that you believe that AI is uniquely positioned to solve? And how are you or your peers starting to address it?
Well, I think one example is the one that I just gave, which talking about speed to lead, being able to respond to potential new residents very quickly and give them all the information they need and set them up for an appointment. Another thing is by using AI to take a look at the financials, and scrub the data and see where there may be some cost inefficiencies.
Beyond the hype, what particular applications of AI are you seeing or implementing that are truly driving growth and offering a competitive edge of companies like yours?
Well, I mean, I think I just, spoke about that. I don't have any other uses of AI that I mean, I personally on a personal level, I do use some AI tools for just, within my operating business and producing marketing materials and things of that nature, but not really beyond just taking a look at the financial data and being able to respond to clients quickly. That's basically our use of that just technology in general.
Okay. And if you could give one piece of advice uh, to UK property developers about embracing technology and AI to stay ahead in 2026, what would it be?
I don't I don't
I don't know. Yeah. Okay,
I don't
that's
know. I mean, beyond what I've shared, I don't consider myself an AI expert. I think it's important to keep abreast of what's going on in technology all the time. So, whether that means listening to podcasts, reading industry newsletters, going to conferences, and keeping an eye out on what's there. And if you hear about something, some new technology, go ahead and explore and learn about it because I think that's really important.
yeah.
Otherwise, you'll become a dinosaur. So I think that's really important, but I don't know of any specific new technology or platform or software that's coming to the market, but I'm sure there will be tons in 2026. So I'd say keep an eye open, stay curious, and continue to learn about those things because they can be really important.
And where do you want to be in next 6 to 12 months in your company from now on?
I'm perfectly happy where I am right now, continuing to do the work that we do. I think we do good work. We're always looking for new opportunities. So if there a good opportunity does come up in the next 6 to 12 months, I'd love to do an acquisition or two if that makes sense. I want to continue operating my properties the way they are. I really get a lot of joy out of helping others succeed. So I want to continue to work with my students that I coach and maybe grow that business a little bit, have some more students come in if there's some people who are a good fit for the program, but basically just keep doing what I'm doing.
You mentioned that you are looking for a good opportunity. If you had a magic wand to fix just one thing in your business that's holding you back or slowing you down, what would that one thing be?
I don't know that I have any particular thing that's slowing me down that I want a magic wand for. Like I said, I think things are going pretty well, and I'm just looking to continue doing what I'm doing. And I do want to see growth, right? But incremental growth. I'm not looking to, conquer the world or anything. But yeah, continue to work on some great projects and bring some win-win solutions to residents, to our staff, and to our investors.
That's interesting. Can you expand a little bit about your growth? What is like you looking to grow more? Any target or any specific goals you have?
No, I don't have any specific targets or goals or metrics that I'm trying to hit. I want to, like I said, I'd be open to a new acquisition or two in 2026 if things align. I'm not trying to say, "Oh, I need X amount, 10% growth, 20% growth, whatever that number is," because I feel like that might force me into doing deals that aren't necessarily the best deals. So what's more important to me is finding the right opportunities that, like I said, create win-win opportunities for residents, for our staff, and for our investors. If I find 5 of those in the next 5 months, I'd try to find a way to do all of them. That'd be a lot to do in 5 months, but I'd try to find a way to do all of them. If I find none of those in the next year, that's perfectly fine too. It's really more about making sure that the opportunities meet the criteria that we have for them rather than trying to have a certain amount of growth within my business.
Do you think this is an industry-wide issue or just more unique to your business that you just target, to find the properties to find the opportunity? Is that the whole industry or just specific to your business that you got to cover certain level, that okay, if I make X amount of money profit, that is the opportunity for me, or just you can buy anything. What is you looking for um, in terms of your when you look for a deal?
So I think your question was about I guess I'm not sure what your question was. Were you asking if I'm having trouble finding good
No, no,
opportunities?
no. My question was that are you looking for specific deals? Do you have any specific criteria?
Yes.
Okay, okay. That's
Yes.
that's that's
I have specific criteria that I look for in my deals,
in your
right?
deals. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for instance, all of my deals are value add opportunities. So I'm not looking for deals that I'm just going to buy a property, hold on to it, and hope that the market goes up in value.
yeah, yeah.
I
That
look
was
for
my question exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I look for opportunities where we can force that appreciation by making improvements to the property. So I want to buy a property where, maybe it's a little run down, where we can go in and fix things up. And by doing that and making improvements for the residents, we can, lift up the value of the property. That's essentially what we look to do. And then for investors, yeah, we have certain return metrics that we want to find on all of our deals. We want to have healthy cash on cash returns that investors can participate in while they're holding on to the property. And then ultimately, when we do sell the property many years from now, we want there to be a very nice profit for them that it was worth their investment. So there are certain criteria that I look for, across the board when I'm looking at opportunities. And, not every deal, and I would say most deals don't meet that criteria. That's why I'm not doing a deal every week. I
Yeah.
do about 1 to 2 deals per year because I'm pretty pragmatic in my approach.
That was great. Thank you for sharing these insights. Once we have compiled all our podcast conversations, I will send over a summary that would be really interesting to you. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you so much. What I'm gonna do now, I will send you the summary of this podcast, and you can see if you want us to add or to remove anything. Yeah, we can
Okay.
we can certainly do that for you, and that. This conversation was such a great conversation. I really loved learning more about your journey, and the work you are doing. It's been so nice. You are a teacher. You people people learn from you. I'm going to be adding the episode tomorrow, and I would love to reconnect later with you, maybe next week, if that's okay, and I can walk through the clips and give you access to everything, for your own marketing, so you can use this one. Would that be okay with you? Yeah.
Sure.
So as a thank you for coming on, I would love to put through a short, customized um, growth plan for you, for what is working in the industry right now for you. A few recommendations which is tailored to your business. Would that be helpful for you?
Sure.
It's absolutely free. It's not nothing I'm gonna charge you.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah. So, would you be available? Let me just check my diary if I can.
If you can send me, like, a calendar link or you can use mine or something, that would be, I think, the most efficient way for us to schedule a
just
meeting for
just
next.
send you a calendar link. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That will be great. Yeah. So I'll send you my calendar link. Yeah. And
Okay.
we'll have another session where we can discuss further. Yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you. Have a great time. Yeah. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye.